Here we have Clematis Tumani, named in conjunction with the Tumani Fund, a Guernsey-based charity that supports orphans and widows of AIDS in Tanzania. And Tumani actually means hope in Swahili. A fantastic compact clematis with quite a lot of different coloration as it comes out to open flowers. As you can see, it's absolutely full of flower. Now here we have the Duchess of Cornwall, selected and named after the now Queen, and this is a nice deep violet large flowered clematis. Grows to about 4 to 5 foot, ideal for containers. It will flower again later in the season and the flowers get even darker. A fantastic large form. This is Sarah Elizabeth, which is a fantastic pastel shade of pink. Only gets to about 4 foot tall. Ideal, absolutely superb in containers. It really does perform well in containers. Has lots of repeat flowering due to its successional buds that come through. A real different colour and great for cottage gardens. Now here we have Oola, and she definitely is very spectacular. Ever so free flowering. Again, only gets to around about 4 feet tall. So perfect for containers, front of borders. But she just flowers and flowers and flowers. You can see the buds coming through after all these flowers already. Absolutely superb. Another one of our pastel shades is Clematis Tranquility. Now this is obviously a blue, very powdery blue, and grows very similar to Sarah Elizabeth. You can see the flowers here and the buds that are coming through again, so longevity of flowering is great. They actually go very well together in a cottage garden sort of situation. This is Clematis Tsukiku. It's an outstanding white. It's almost pure white when it matures, with sort of electric blue anthers and filaments in the centre. It doesn't flower until it gets to about 50 centimetres tall, but then flowers its socks off all the way up to about 6 feet. Good in a pot or container, but also going up through other shrubs. But I consider this one of the best whites to grow. Launched in 2019, this is Clematis Diana's Delight, and she certainly is a delight. Very free flowering, ideal for containers, only gets to 3 to 4 feet, but flowers its socks off, and they're really decent sized blooms. So if you're sort of after a pale lighter blue, Diana's Delight is definitely a consideration for you. Now this is a proper showstopper. This is Clematis Crystal Fountain, which is one of our double clematis and very popular from the exotic shaped flowers it has. It gets to around about 6 feet tall. But you prune this one a little bit differently. Treat this like a group 2, so after it has its first flush of flowers and it's finished flowering, you just prune it back by about 1/3, but gives you a huge flower, and what a flower it is. Another one of our doubles, and possibly our best selling double, and has been for a very long time. This is Clematis Josephine. Massive flower, full, absolutely full, and just flowers and flowers. Superb variety. Here we have one of our best reds, and it's best because it's got a very dark centre. The filaments and anthers are all very dark, so it sets the flower really deep and gives it that very, very, very red appearance, almost burgundy appearance. It's not very big, only gets to about 4 feet tall, but flowers its socks off. You can see the buds on here as this one as well. They're just ready to flower and flower and flower. Now this is something special. This is Clematis Bijou. It's out of our Tudor range, and our Tudor range basically is a selection of clematis that are mound forming and very small. And as you can see, this is in a container. It's no taller than if a foot high, and it just mound forms and produces lots and lots of flower buds and keeps flowering and flowering and flowering. Not your traditional clematis, this one, but well worth consideration. Here's another one out of our Tudor range. This is Clematis Filigree, a lot paler in colour than Bijou, but does exactly the same thing. It's a ground cover or mound forming clematis, and as you can see, this is a very low trough, and it's just covering it all over with flower bud and flowers. Here we have Clematis Parisian, one of our older releases actually, back in 2005, but still an absolute stunner of a clematis. Really rich colours, and just keeps flowering and flowering and flowering. Again, about 4 feet tall, but gives a lot of blooms out. This is Clematis ZC, launched last year, 2022. One of our most compact red varieties. Actually comes out fairly pink in new flower, and then actually increases in depth of colour as it ages. Only about 3 to 4 feet tall, perfect for containers and pots. This is Clematis Ice Blue, and as you can see, I'll just put my hand next to it, you can get some gauging of some size. Really nice large whites with a blue tinge when it first comes out. Nice decent sized flowers, flowers very well. As you can see, produces a lovely display.